Oh, Capcom, I can't believe how much you've turned down the old Blue Bomber, canceling your most promising projects that many fans wanted for so long. I got a question for you ass butts at Capcom. What were you thinking? That, I'm sure everyone else is asking, because in case you haven't noticed, your fan base is extremely pissed off at you for what the hell you're doing in Mega Man games by creating them and all of a sudden canceling them for the same goddamn reason, which I find dumb. And yes, that "what were you thinking" came from the angry video game nerd. I apologize, James. Will never happen again. So today on Mega News, I'm going to talk about the recently cancelled FPS Mega Man game, codenamed Maverick Hunter. From the looks of this game, it presumably is a reimagining of the Mega Man X games, with elements from that, and is also a clone of Metroid Prime. And despite me loving Metroid Prime, this honestly reminds me too much of it. Namely because of the brains behind Metroid Prime was developing this game with Capcom, but only lasted for 6 months before it was face flat killed off. So without any further intro, let's dive into the history of this game's development process. In 2010, Capcom taped the talent behind Metroid Prime to bring Mega Man into the modern age, only to have the game suffer the fate of similar recent attempts to find new audiences for the 8-bit hero. Codenamed Maverick Hunter, the FPS shooter that was the blessing of Mega Man's creator and a talented team tasked with attracting a new generation of fans. But the departure of Kenji Inafune likely killed the most interesting take on the 25-year-old character to date. Mega Man's foray into the first-person shooter genre looked, at least on paper, like a formula for success. One of the handful of collaborations with Western developers kicked off by Mega Man creator Kenji Inafune, the Mega Man FPS was in development at Austin-based Armature Studio, the promising developer founded by Metroid Prime's creators. The new Mega Man would have been a reimagining design by the concept artist responsible for adapting Iron Man's armor for Marvel's successful film franchise. Thematically, the game would have built upon the mythology of Mega Man X, a series that was darker and more mature, and was a spin-off of the cuter classic Mega Man franchise. The game would have stayed true to the core Mega Man X gameplay concepts, reimagining his X-Buster arm cannon with the dash and the ability to appropriate the special powers of his fallen enemies. Platforming elements, including X's wall jump, the classic Mega Man X characters wouldn't have been reimagined in new kinds of ways. Unfortunately, Armature's Mega Man FPS, Maverick Hunter, shared the fate of the Blue Bomber's other recent projects, Legends 3, Universe, and Online, just to name a few, and was cancelled before the public had ever seen anything about this. They never had the opportunity to see this, is what I'm trying to say. So according to a number of Capcom sources, Armature's Maverick Hunter was a prototyped and playable kind of game. At least thankfully. So if you want to check that out, be my guest. And it had a short lifespan, only about 6 months in the first half of 2010. It showed promise, sources say, but was deemed a significant gamble and quietly killed before Inafune publicly exceeded Capcom in late 2010. This is honestly the saddest I have ever heard in my life, because unfortunately this game was cancelled for the same exact reason. Inafune had left the company for good. And this I cannot understand at all, because just because one of your famous creators for a game franchise is so awesome doesn't mean you can't make another reimagining of a Mega Man game yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong though, this looks like a really awesome game. It looks like a good reimagining of the Mega Man X series, but I'm really kind of disappointed that this game was officially cancelled. Which is exactly why everyone's pissed off at Capcom. I am seriously not in favor for that, Capcom. Why are you not doing what the fans want? You're being just like LucasArts for canceling Star Wars Battlefront 3. Fucking assholes. Yes, Matthew, it's all about the money. They just don't want to become rich. Because if this game had ever seen the light of day, I'm probably sure everybody would obviously buy this game, and Capcom would have been rich right off the bat. And then they could possibly develop Mega Man Legends 3. But again, stop being like LucasArts. Stop making these games the Star Fox 2. The game that never saw the light of day. Seriously, Capcom. You need to listen to your fans. You need to do what everyone was promised to see. So that is pretty much all of the Mega News right now. And this was a very special episode because not only is this my 20th episode, but it's a Mega Man based kind of Mega News. So yeah, this was rather unfortunate. I can't believe this game was cancelled. It did look pretty promising, especially with the brutal elements added to the game. I mean, again, it's a Metroid Prime clone, but it's too much like Metroid Prime. Because Capcom had the talent behind Metroid Prime. So, yeah. There you go. I'm probably sure everybody's got the hate mail ready for me now, because I've mentioned this. Even though this was recently mentioned before, I'm kind of pissed off that this game was canceled. I know I've said that, but again, I'm still pissed. But there's thankfully some gameplay of this, which I'm happy to have found, but only found a small amount of footage because I unfortunately couldn't find any more footage than that. So here you'll see some of the brutal elements that the game will have, and the Metroid Prime elements that the game was supposed to have as well. So I'll just leave you guys alone, and I will see you next episode, and enjoy this little clip I found on the website that only showed about 33 seconds of footage, of which I am really mad about. So yeah, see you later.
The Duke is on the deck below you. There isn't much time.
Got it.
Love what you saw? Click the subscribe button for some more Mega News and other stuff.